reception. So the focus for our learning today for literacy is going to be to practice writing a sentence. Now, before we do any of our writing, I have put together in your pack some flashcards of all the keywords that we're going to be using in our sentences today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through them together with me, with my flashcards, and then you're going to have a go by yourselves with your grown-ups with the ones you've got in your pack. Ready? Off we go. A is he for the can she I have to it like and this and went. Well done. Now, grown-ups, if you could just pause the video now, use the same flashcards with them, get them to try and say them by themselves. If they get them, then put them to one side. If there are some that we're not too sure about, just put them to the other side, and after you've gone through them all, just take the ones that we weren't too sure about, maybe practice reading them a few times, look at the sounds, and maybe even practice writing them a few times just so they're more familiar with them. Okay, now that we've practiced our keywords that we're going to be using today, let's have a quick look at our sentence checklist. These are some of the things we have to remember when we are writing a sentence. The first thing is our capital letters. We always start our sentence with a capital letter. Don't worry if you're not too sure what they look like, because I know that we have not learnt them as much as our smaller letters, but just have a go if you think you do know. Finger spaces. After every single word, we use our finger to leave a space between each word. Otherwise, all of our words put together just looks like one long sentence, one long word that makes absolutely no sense. At the end of your sentence, to show the reader that it is the end and they're about to start a new sentence, we put a full stop, okay, at the end of every single sentence. Then, very, very important, read the sentence, read it, to check that it means. Okay, now that we have looked at our keywords, we've used our sentence checklist. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to say some sentences and you are going to have a go at writing them. Okay? Now, grown-ups, if you could just pause the video after each sentence that I say, just to give them time to have a go at writing them. Reception, you can use the keywords that you just used here to look for the words you need if you need to. Okay? You don't need to do them all from memory. As long as you recognise the words, that's fantastic. I've done about 9 or 10 sentences, just so you've got enough to be getting on with, but if you feel that they're a little bit tricky, even if you just do a few of them, I am very, 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 very happy. Okay? First sentence is, I can skip. I can skip. So, I can skip. I can skip. There are going to be 3 words in my sentence. I, that's definitely a keyword that we all know. I've got all my keywords here just so we can do the video more quickly, but you can look through your pack of keywords that we had before. I can skip. Now if I check my checklist here, I know that I need to leave a finger space before I start another word. I, space, can. I can, space, skip, skip, skip. I know that I need 4 sounds for skip. Now it could be caterpillar or kangaroo. Now I've seen the word skip written down before, so I know it's a kangaroo. I can skip, skip, skip. I can skip. I'm just going to check my checklist to check I've written a full sentence. I've got my capital letter. I've got my finger spaces between each word. Full stop, let me check. Oh, have I got my full stop? No, I have not. So I'll put my full stop there. Remember, our full stop is not a gigantic circle like that. It's not a round and round and round circle like that. It's just a simple dot. Okay? So, tick or fix perception. Remember our tick or fix from phonics. Tick your capital letter at the start. Tick if you've remembered your finger spaces. Tick your can. And tick if you have sounded out skip. Okay? And then tick your full stop. Remember, it's tick or fix. So if I wrote I can skip, and then I've seen that Miss Sutton used an ink here, all I would do is fix it first, or cross it out if you're using pencil, skip. Now I fixed it, so I can tick it. So there's our first sentence, I can skip. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read out lots of different sentences, and then I will show you what that sentence should look like, and you're going to pause your video again while you tick or fix your sentence. Off we go. Your next sentence is, I like to run. I like to run. So I'm going to just pause the video here. Okay, tick or fix. I like to run. Check your checklist for the things that you need to tick or fix. Well done. Next sentence is, I am running. I am running. Tick or fix. I am running. Now notice here reception, I've got a diagram sound here. And I've got my finger on the string at the end. Next sentence. He went to the shop. He went to the shop. And tick or fix. It's a bit longer now, so really concentrate. He. Now notice that your he that was on your flashcard looked like this. Okay, we had a small sound. But because my he is at the start of my sentence this time, I've made sure that I've got a capital H letter there, or capital H. Okay. So just tick or fix. If you haven't got a capital there, just fix it and then you can tick it. Next sentence. I have a sweet. I have a sweet. Tick or fix. I have a sweet. Next one. I like this sweet. I like this sweet. Tick or fix. I like this sweet. Next one. She went for a swim. She went for a swim. Tick or fix. She went for a swim. Swim. And last one. She can cook an egg. She can cook an egg. She can cook. Look at a book. And egg. Notice the diagram. Great job, reception. Well done. So don't worry about how many you did. If you were ticking them and fixing them correctly, then I'm really, really proud of you. Now I've just got some challenge sentences here. Here I've got one of our old sentences, but we're looking at how we can make it even better. I have a sweet. Now remember, our adjectives are describing words that we learned about. What can we tell the reader about this sweet that I have? I have a yummy sweet. I have a green sweet. I have a sticky sweet. I have a fizzy sweet. So your challenge is to make this sentence even better by rewriting it with a word that describes the sweet. And then your second challenge sentence is, I like this sweet because, that special word that we always talk about, because. Why do we like this sweet? I like this sweet because it is very fizzy. Or, I like this sweet because it looks like a pig. You can probably guess that Percy Pigs are one of Miss Sutton's favourite sweets. I like this sweet because it is very colourful. Okay? So, if you really want to challenge yourself, have a go at those last two sentences. Then there is an extra little activity if you have a look at your pack about writing about your favourite toy. Good luck, reception.